YouTube, what's the deal with y'all, man? You see me? I know y'all see that camera work. I'm going crazy. I'm gonna get better and better every single time, but you already know what the deal is. Big cap, no cap, just capital. Nothing too crazy going on today in the markets, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a quick little update of what I do have going on, and then give my little 2 cents, my little bit of advice as to why I think people fail in Forex. And before we get into that, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick update of what I have going on. So as you see, I'm in dark mode now. I like the way the charts look better. I just like to always switch up the way my charts look, just to get it just makes it refreshing to me. We look at the same thing all day, every day for however long you've been trading. Nice to switch things up. What I have going on right now, I came to the 4-hour chart on AUD NZD. That's the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. And as you can see, we have a clear downtrend. And we started getting some pullback action. So when I see a pullback, I'm automatically thinking where the chart is going to go back and start following the trend. So put a box here, took this entry, and it was working out. It's rejecting pretty nicely there. We'll see what ends up happening. But just for those people who don't have didn't understand in my first few videos how it is that I see these zones, I'll just break it down right here. So if you see right now, it's kind of like the same thing. We're in a downtrend, and when it starts pulling back, I just put a zone at the lows. So this would be the previous low, and I would just extend that. So this is kind of where I took my sell at in this trade right here. But I also do the high of that area because there's a high and a low, there's support and resistance. So this would be the resistance zone. And you see, ended up respecting that one a little bit better. So that would have been a better entry. Get in here, stop loss above the next set of highs. So right over here, set of highs, stop loss right above there. And you can either set the take profit to just close the gap, or what you can do is zoom out to the daily if you want to have like a longer trade, and set it to close like the next gap. So the next gap in this trade would have been down there. And when you go to the 4-hour, let's see what that ended up looking like. Take profit would have been hit. So it's that simple. What I like to look for is I like to see that my take profit gets hit, and then the trade immediately goes back for another retest. And that's how on my first few videos you saw that I had several entries back to back to back on one pair. That's just because once you find like the next support or resistance level, it just becomes repetitive. You just break, retest, enter, break, retest, enter. So like for an example of that here is what I could have done had I been paying attention, is waited for the chart to come back up and retest this low right here, and that would have got me an entry. So that would have been a better trade than the one I'm in actually right now. And like I said, I'll wait for it to test the low, so my entry would have been probably right at here. A little bit of drawback, stop loss a little bit above this zone right here, just in case it decides to go up, and then take profit would have been to close that gap. So that would have been 1.4 risk reward ratio. Anything above a 1 to me is good. Typically I like to stick with like a 1 to 2, something like that. It all just depends. You never really want to force your risk reward ratio. All right, so now that we got that out the way, just my little quick analysis and what I have going on as far as the trades that I have running, and just a deeper in-depth look at how I trade and how I find those zones. I know I had a few people ask me questions about that. But yeah, the title of the video is why I think people fail at Forex, or reasons why you're failing at Forex. And I want to go ahead and get straight into that. So to me, the number one reason why Forex can be difficult, or people fail at Forex when they first start, is that there's just too much information coming in. There's thousands of different YouTubers saying that this is how you should trade, that's how you should trade, you should only trade these pairs, you should only trade those pairs. There's just a lot of information coming in when you first start. And the best way to get over that hump is just to find out what works for you strategy-wise, and just focus in on that. Like, block out all the noise. I always compare things to sport. There's more than one way to shoot a jump shot. There's more than one form. There's one preferred form that people say should work. But if your shots are hitting or if your take profits are getting hit, how can I tell you that you're wrong? You know what I'm saying? So definitely lock in on what works for you. Figure out what comes to you easily, what's easy to understand, and then block everything else out for, like I'd say, the first few weeks. And then once you have the basic understanding of that strategy locked in, then that's when you start adding things little by little. Just progress every single day. It accelerates your growth rate and it makes sure that you continue down that path to profitable trading. That being said, the most important thing about trading is just to keep things as simple as you can. Make sure that whatever process you come up with or end up being comfortable with, make sure that that's a process that can be repeated easily over and over and over again. Because that's all trading is. It really does become repetitive. You're doing the same thing, looking for the same setup, executing the same strategy. It's the same process over and over and over again. And if you're successful with that process and you keep repeating that same process, there's no way you can fail. So that brings us to number 2, which is the exact opposite of number 1. Another reason why I feel people come into Forex and they fail early on is because they come into it without a game plan. And they always say you have no plan, you plan to fail. As cheesy as that sounds, that is definitely the case in Forex. If you jump into a chart without making sure all your boxes are crossed, did you see what the momentum of the daily chart is? Did you see where the resistance zones are at? If you don't check those boxes, you're gonna lose. And unfortunately, this isn't a game. You're playing with money, so them L's is gonna be a lot harder to take. All right, so the third reason why I feel like most people fail when they come into Forex is that they're just so afraid of losing. And this is me even up until a few months ago. Now that I'm on the other side of that mountain, I can definitely say that you just won't know what works until you fall. So one of the things that I used to do was I used to always have my take profit set too far down. Like I go for a home run on every single trade, and I didn't know to fix that until one day I had a trade running and I was at like $500, $600 in profit on a real life money account because I was stubborn. I never really wanted to trade a demo account, and because I was big on sticking to my game plan and not closing my trades early at the time, I didn't close it, and eventually it just shot the other direction. And before I knew it, that $600 in profit turned to $200 negative, and I lost it that day. But had I not let that trade lose, I wasn't afraid to lose. Had I not let that trade run, I'd probably still be setting my take profit too far down, and it would have been something that I'd still be struggling with today. So get your L's out the way early. I could have gave up and I didn't. And that brings us to number 4, just impatience. People are so impatient when it comes to learning Forex, but they'll be patient with a regular job, or they'll be patient with school, or they'll be patient, with something that's not really working out for them. Not to say that those things can't work out for you, but why is it that people want to get rich quick with Forex, but you don't get rich quick at your job? You work every day for whatever your pay is, even if it's a great job, but you're not getting rich overnight with that job. No job is going to get you rich overnight. You work for years and you save up and you become rich. People approach Forex as if it's the lottery, and that's not the case. It's a job, it's a business. You're gonna be consistent with this for however long you choose to do it, and hopefully that gets you to be rich, but it's not gonna happen in a week. So impatience as far as, your success with trading, and then just impatience as far as your trading goes too. So one thing that is very important, and is a major key, is waiting on the market to do what you want it to do. Or you don't want to be like forcing your opinion on the market. The market is going to do what the market is going to do. So, that's why I set my areas of resistance. I had those set, and I'll wait until it gets there. I'm not going to take a trade until it gets there. Once it gets there, then I'll take my trade. And however long that takes, that's how long it takes. All right, guys, so that's the end of the video. What time is it right now? It's 12:41 in the morning. Just finished editing the video. Hey, y'all in the house now, so y'all like family. So since y'all like family, you gotta leave a like, a comment, and you better subscribe. It's almost 1 in the morning. But let me know if you guys like this type of video. It definitely took a lot longer because it's my first time doing it, but to me it looks a lot cleaner. And if y'all rocking with it, that's how it's gonna keep coming. And if y'all not rocking with it, that's how it's gonna keep coming. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. You know, join the Telegram. Link will be in the bio. And that's it for me. I'm out of there. And oh yeah, for anybody who noticed my pants, these are my skating pants. I ended up editing it out. I was gonna show a whole clip about like how I go skateboard to get away from the charts and everything. But the video ended up being already 10 minutes long, and I wasn't trying to make it any longer just to throw some random skateboard clips in there. So if I see a comment in the comment section talking about my pants, I know you didn't make it to the end of the video.
That's it!